Hey there, Jewels of Life Challengers. We are back with the 21 days to everyone contributing at home. And we have hit day 8. And today we are going to be talking about the contract. So we have a special case study today that actually highlights one of the Jewels of Life members and what she did. She's a single mom of 4 fantastic girls from school age through high school, actually now through college, and she shared with me what happened this summer when they had a family summit to talk about some changes that were necessary in their house because they had become the house that everyone likes to come to after school and the house that everyone likes to enjoy because she had such a great positive environment going on, but it was starting to kill mom a little bit because nothing was getting done and everyone kind of started to relax their chore doing, etc. And she always had an empty fridge. So she had to make some changes and set some boundaries for certain things and give everybody a little bit of a reboot. So she shared with me how she did that, and a couple of things were coming up with what were her expectations, what were the rewards, and what were the consequences. And then she had everybody sign a contract. So it was real. You know how that makes everything sort of solidified when you buy a house, you buy a car, you make an agreement with somebody. And so she was teaching her kids about that, and I thought it was fabulous, so I thought I would share. She came up with some really great documents. First, she came up with what was expected of each of her kids as a whole and by age level, and let them know in that family meeting what was expected and why, and what it meant to her. If everybody is coming over and eating all of their food, by the time she comes home to make dinner, she doesn't have the things she needs in order to do that. So while she wants to be hospitable, forget it. Nobody can spend that kind of money and feed the entire junior high and high school. So she had to make some changes. And the house was always kind of a mess. It was nobody's responsibility, even though it was everybody's responsibility. So she made it very clear what she expected to happen from each person, and very clear what would happen if you didn't do it, and what would happen if you went over and above what wasn't asked of you. And I thought that was a brilliant addition. What happens if you get caught doing something awesome? Well, here are the rewards for those types of things. And for that, she even had to dig into what are the things that my kids really love? What's their intrinsic motivation? What's their love language and their currency? So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that in the next week, but I thought it was brilliant that she came up with all of that. And I'm discussing the contract now because you're going to have to think about these things, whether you approach your family today with the idea of a contract or you approach them with it in maybe a week's time when you know a little bit more about what precisely you want to have happen in the runnings of your family. You'll need to know that these things are possible. And in the sections of the Facebook group called Documents, you'll find the examples that my friend used, and they're brilliant. So one with the chores that were listed, she calls them chores and contributions, and then what were the consequences, and then the other rewards. And she also had a rotation. So the daily and weekly contributions would remain the same, and then she had a section where you could put a little square picture of each child because she's got 4 of them. So she would just rotate the pictures and then move those every week instead of changing the chores around and giving everybody a list. She just moved the pictures, and so that way everybody would rotate and nobody would get tired of the contributions that they were performing. And so that was fantastic. So what I want you to do is take a look at those documents that she has. Take a look at the agenda she used for her family summit and see how you might adjust it for your family. Take a look at the contract that she used, and it was very simple. It was just like, I heard what you said, Mom and Dad, or Mom, she's a single mom. I heard what you said. I understand the consequences, and I'm willing to go forward. Be prepared, though, as she was, that if someone decides, no, I'm not signing that, there are some that they're going to stick their heels in. What are you going to do? Before you approach that contract, what are you going to do? And she was prepared for that, well, here are the consequences of not signing. Here's what you won't have, and here's what else you won't have. And so you can choose not to sign it, but there are consequences to not signing. So anyway, Those are things to take a look at as well. So what are your challenges and expectations for this 21-day challenge? What do you want to accomplish? What are the consequences when things don't happen as they're contracted? And what are the rewards? And if at the end you've chosen a big reward for everyone, like when we get this 21-day challenge done, if we've made some really great changes and we know that because X, Y, and Z are happening, then we get to have this really great outing, or we get to have a pile of people come over and celebrate with us, or whatever that may look like, or great vacation, whatever that may look like. Talk about that in your family summit for this too. So until tomorrow, Mama stay. The mom in me sees and honors the mom or dad in you.